Man, oh man, it's been 2 weeks, guys. We apologize. We missed you guys last week. Um, we missed you yesterday with kids' sports and play. But uh, as we talk about very often here on the Perfectly Misfit podcast, we Dan and I and a lot of us our regular viewers who we appreciate stick with us every episode. We go through a lot of shit. Dan and I both have a lot of layers um, to our lifestyles. Dan's a family man. Dan works in IT. Dan just lives out in the fucking middle of nowhere, which just also adds another level of like complications that other people would never understand, like owning your own place that like used to run on wood fire. Like it's a whole different thing. But one of the bigger things Dan and I go through, thanks to you know Dan also being a veteran. I'm a veteran. I'm heavily involved in the metal, punk rock music scene, the bar scene. We lose a lot of friends, a lot of family, um, and we lose life a lot, and that's why every episode we end it a certain way. And Dan lost a very, very, very important life to him last week, and it's not it wasn't a human one, which I feel like makes it a little harder because sometimes you can't see these things coming. It's something that like if you're lucky enough to see it coming and you're able to work through this moment, it makes it a little easier, but not a lot, just a very fucking little. Um, but I went through it for the first time about 2.5 years ago. Um, the loss of an animal was probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through in my goddamn life. And that's including the madness that involved my 10-year career in the military. And Dan lost, if I remember correctly, his oldest dog.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I've been talking for 3 minutes straight, but what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna have a moment of silence. We're not gonna do a whole fucking minute because we're not assholes. And it's a fucking podcast. We're gonna have a moment of silence for Dan's dog Dory, who I actually had the honor of meeting. Fucking great ass dog. So it's for you, Dory. Fucking that was a fucking amazing Dan. When I went to Dan's place the one time I've been out to Michigan, um, sorry, I lost my camera there, but I think you guys can still hear me. The one time I did get the honor of going out to Michigan to see Dan's place and hang out with a bunch of other friends that I have out there. Um, I got to meet Dory. Oh, that's not it. Um, and all of his dogs are awesome, but Dory, you could just tell she's a Dory. Wait, yeah, she right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
she
Dory, she was
was
my
was a
baby
she
girl,
was a
man.
she's a little different. She, she had a little spice where I don't know what the fuck is going on with my camera.
She
Um,
had severe. She was supposed to be my PTSD dog, who in turn actually just absorbed all of my fucking PTSD and became an absolute scaredy cat of fucking everything. It took her a while to warm up to people, but when she did, man, she loved everybody with her whole heart. She's a great dog, great protector of the home. Uh, just fucking amazing dog. She was 12 years old, almost 13. Should have been 13 in January. Um, and it was just kind of crazy. Like last week Sunday, started acting kind of funny, nothing crazy, and then Monday Um, I got home and she didn't come greet me. I thought that was really kind of weird because that's not her. And she didn't really want to get off the couch. And I was like, oh, okay. Like she's arthritis really bad. So I was like, oh, it's just arthritis,
Yeah, we're also like
whatever.
transitioning in between seasons, so that just starts to flare up
Right.
at
And
the time of year.
it was raining, you know.
Yep.
So and I'm like, all right, yeah, my knees hurt too. It's fine. Tuesday, sh- a little better. She was better, like still kind of being slow. And then Wednesday, I got home from work and she had passed away. So it was unexpected. I mean, those are not like signs of anything that were out of the norm necessarily. Um, so I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't ready for it. I mean, I expected like another year, before having to, make that choice of having to put her down. I expected that. And it hit me out of left field. Um, my oldest son is actually the one who found her as she was laying in my room in her dog bed. Um, looked, like she passed away pretty peacefully, um, in her favorite spot. So, there's some solace, I guess, in that. And
Yeah, I mean, she,
yeah.
you noticed a big drastic change, and it seemed what, a couple of days, and I'd imagine if she seemed like she was suffering within those couple of days,
Oh,
you would
I
have
would have
taken
taken her to
action.
the vet so
Absolutely.
quick,
So
but
like,
it just wasn't out of the norm. Like, like
yeah,
again, just like her arthritis is
yeah,
getting
dude,
really
we're
bad.
all humans. Like, we're going to, especially with something like this, and I hope this doesn't come off cold or callous, but like we're going to lie to ourselves before we ever jump to the worst conclusion. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, the dog's just having a bad day. We would ever fucking immediately just go to, oh, this is something severe, especially like just because Dory didn't come up and say hi to you at the door.
Right. Right.
She's a fucking 13, 12-year-old fucking dog. And like, it's okay. It's just dogs being old dog shit.
Right.
But it's goddamn, was it? So that's 12 times 7. God, that's an old ass bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like she's a border collie, so not a small dog
Yeah,
either. So
Portia was I mean, I keep thinking she was around 14, but I think reality was she's probably more around 12, like around the same age as Dory. I got her 2010 and put her down 2021, I would think it was. So I got 11 years out of her, 10 and a half years out of her, and I want to say she was about 2 or 3 when I got her.
no.
And there's just the one thing I didn't like, I don't know if I've ever talked about it on here, was that like the vets like see me like distraught, just being like, listen, I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Find out what's wrong with my dog and tell me what I need to do to make her comfortable and whatever I got to do beyond that.
Right.
And like for some reason, oh shit, this is not a good idea. I'm smoking a bowl next to my two fire alarms, smoke detectors. um, uh, they kept giving me shit about the diet I fed her, and like it wasn't like I was feeding her anything extreme. It was dog food, but
No.
like it was this like grain free dog food,
Right.
and like I had like 3 nurses and like 2 different doctors be like, "Oh, so like you were feeding grain-free dog. Did you know that that diet can actually cause heart?" I'm like, "Okay, man, listen, you know, I fell for the gimmick. Like it's not like it was like some like random brand dog food. This was
Right.
like same shit I bought at fucking Petco next to everybody else's dog food that, like everybody was just used to. And actually like when I was in my late teens, that was a job I did. I sold exclusively like pet food. I worked in a warehouse that sold everything from lizards up to fucking giant like breeding pit bulls, like competition level pit bulls. Like we had frozen ox and bison meat for those fuckers. Like, but
Yeah.
like one was like that was considered the high end dog food. I only got my dog what I thought was one of the most highest end that I could afford dog food,
Right.
and that was like so shitty in my opinion. It's like dealing with that part of uh, I'm almost trying to passively say I wish Portia would have gone down in 3 days as opposed to the I don't even know. It was like 6 months of different fucking cardiologists and specialists. Like
Right.
I'm spending $10,000 around on like just to fucking make my baby happy and not fucking keep her alive and comfortable. Uh, that shit, it just sucked, man. And that's
It
why I
does, man.
mentioned it earlier. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Fucking going through that shit and watching it all and spending the money and just like not feeling like it was not good enough.
Yeah.
Um, and you've got a whole zoo over there, so not for nothing, you better fucking brace your black ass for
Yeah,
more
yeah.
heartache.
Well, luckily, almost all like the other ones are puppies still. I mean, young.
What's your oldest?
Two,
What's your oldest now?
I think 3.5, 4,
Yeah,
maybe somewhere in there.
it'll be
I think
Bryce's problem.
yeah, I think
This piece of shit.
they told me when I got Miles, right? When I
Hold on. Let me before we get too much deeper. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the Perfectly Misfit podcast. I'm your host Renee Encarnacion. Next to me is my fucking best friend Dan motherfucking Webslinger 25. This is a podcast where Dan and I are two Army veterans. We get together every week and we talk the shit. This is what we do. We are each other's fucking therapists for the most part because we don't have any therapist sponsors. So here we are. Lobo, please go lie down. You know I'm doing my podcast. Dan and I have very similar interests. We're both big movie heads, TV show watchers. We both love to cook, and we both love podcasts. So that's what we talk about every fucking week. But then we also do this. We talk about the things we can't talk about with other people. Like I said earlier, Dan and I experience death way too often and on a way too crazy personal level because Dan and I are mutual that like if we're friends of yours, we love you to death. Like you are part of our blood. Dan is my brother. I believe I could fucking go knock on Dan's door at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Actually, he'll be at work at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, wake his black ass up, and I can go sleep on his couch when he goes to work. This is like not a question. It's vice versa. I've got maybe 7 people in my whole life I can fucking do that with. But this is what Dan and I do every week, and this is why we're here. Yeah, sorry. I
no,
never
you're
did the
good.
intro. I was like, oh shit. But
Well,
yeah, your oldest is 3.5.
I think so.
We're
So
talking
they
about
said
dogs here, guys.
right.
You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
cat,
They
one cat
said
or 2 cats?
3.
Oh fucking hell.
I
Like I
know,
said, Dan's
dude.
got a zoo.
Uh, but Miles, they said when I got him from the shelter, they said he was 2. And I don't believe that whatsoever. Because at 2 years old, your dog shouldn't be growing anymore. And he grew, he almost doubled his size. He's a damn big dog now, but he's like a lab mix with something. I have no idea. I used to think it was border collie because he's got like that normal like border collie whites patch
Yeah.
on his chest,
Scruff.
but he does like Malamu things where like if he wants to show me something, he comes up and he'll like bite my hand and like drag
Try
me
to drag you in that
to it.
direction.
Yeah, so it's just I have no idea what the fuck this mud is, but he's mainly I would say mainly he's a black lab.
You also got
But
the,
we have a Great Dane.
I was gonna say that was the last one, right? Is the Great Dane?
Yeah, yeah, that was not something I was planned. It was
I feel
kind of
like
just
none of your donks are planned. Call me
uh
crazy.
no, Miles was planned. I went and got him from the shelter. So,
Oh,
but
no, that's right. I remember you sending me. the text pictures that Nicole sent you was like, oh, we got to get this stuff.
Yeah. So, and then like JoJo was kind of thrown at us,
Pardon me.
and I'm not one to be like, no, I'm not going to take a dog in, but I should have because she's very, no, I'm just kidding. She's a good dog, but she's also, I mean, batshit crazy and just fucking retarded.
I
I
really,
mean,
because with all that property you have out there, it'd be so dope if we could turn that shit, that barn back there into
yeah,
fucking,
my pole barn, I've been talking about it for probably 5 or 6 years now
yeah.
that I
I
want
mean,
to
like,
convert it
it's
into a
fucking
kennel.
perfect. And then, set up some electric wiring, fucking,
It's already got electric. It's all
oh, I didn't
everything's
even know
set
about
up.
that. No, no, no.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant the invisible fences and shit. So like
Oh, yeah.
keep the fucking puppies on the property and shit.
Yeah,
But
I would like to, like I said, one day I'd like to turn it into a kennel and
yeah, I assumed
put
actually
a
that thing, I
fence.
assumed that didn't have power out there, but even
Yeah,
better.
and put a fence like covering like an acre and a half of my land of just the fence, and
Dude,
so then
man,
they can go run and whatnot.
that'd be so, if I had the fucking money, I'd invest in that so fast because then
Bro, that's
I'd also send you and your kids fucking video equipment and make a YouTube channel out of that shit.
yeah. If I had the money, I would do it too. So it's been that's kind of what is the factor of it. There are some things like I've looked into it. I could get some grants and whatnot, but it's not enough for what I would need to do. I love you too, buddy. Will you please go lay down? I
This
know.
is this is a
This
regular occurrence on here, folks. Our animals are constant interrupters. I brought up Dan's cats because they have multiple times just made cameos right across the screen, hit buttons on his keyboard, and just shut his whole shit down. I have to hold it down until Dan figures out what he needs to unfuck because
right.
cats seem to know how to press the perfect buttons on keyboards, but they
Yeah.
don't have thumbs. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. They'll hit control or shift alt 4 or
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
like,
Shift
just some dumb shit
Shift
somehow.
Shift Alt F4, but yeah, yes, that's what it was. Right.
But
Um, but
yeah,
yeah,
no,
man.
I was just talking about how Miles like will pull me somewhere. He just tried to do that now, and I'm like, no, I can't. I can't leave.
But I
I'm
got to show
right
you
here.
something, man. I mean, like I've shown you this 1,000 times, but you got to check it out this
Yeah,
time. This time, dude. Fucking
pretty
love
much.
animals. Trying to move on from life shit. I'm no longer. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I'm no longer at that bar I was working at.
Okay.
It was short lived, but sweet. Made some good money. Got a lot of attention from very pretty ladies, which is always a nice confidence booster. I've lost 24 pounds officially in the
Mm,
past month and a half. Um, the bittersweet side of the bar story, they're actually being forced to close
oh
in
shit.
9 or 10 days. And this has happened before. It's just layover drama from the other bar that I used to work for them at.
Okay.
And the city has been keeping an eye on their behaviors at the new bar, and they are not happy. So um, some of the uh, pending actions from the old bar, but I mean, same owners, same liquor licenses. So some of the punishments from the old place, which had to shut down completely, were still pending, and are uh, they're now going to be laid on to this bar. um,
All right.
so as of what I saw yesterday in an article in the Denver Post, they will be closing for 90 days. And then when they reopen, they will not be allowed to brew because it was a brewery as well.
Okay.
And they will not be allowed to have live music think they might be allowed to have DJs, but I don't know. Again, things go up and down and left and right. Yeah, so there's that madness. I'm supposed to go to Skankfest next week as a kind of like a surprise thing. I've been offered, places to sleep, free all access tickets. All I would have had to do is just buy like a $150 round trip ticket. But as much as I would like to go, um, I think it would just end up causing me more stress than I need right now. I'd end up spending money, even though like I'm sure people would take care of me because taking care of a lot of people out there. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And yeah, not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna go unless some miracle happens in the next by next Monday. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. But either way, I'm very excited to see the highlights of what's going to happen at Skankfest next week because this is their last Vegas one apparently. Last year, as their like surprise music guest, they had Everlast,
Okay.
which is like he's got like 2-3 songs I'd want to hear, and then once he goes into a B-side, I'm like, all right,
Right.
fucking put your lights on again, or keep your lights on, whatever. And yeah, if you're not doing fucking, I think he was in House of Pain, or was it?
Yeah, House of Pain.
Yeah, Jump
And
Around.
then yeah.
But he's not doing House of Pain songs. He's just doing Everlast songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
How cool would it be if they got like Wheeler Walker Jr. to do it? Like,
apparently, this year it's going to be someone crazy, and like apparently the money they spent on Everlast was like stupid, and I think they said they went more on this one.
Okay.
And this is just my assumption, and I'm not sure, but it kind of.
Now watch, it's Corn.
There. I don't know, but I know someone who's going to be in town that weekend. Not like I don't know him like personally, but Corey Taylor's going to be in Vegas that weekend.
Oh, nice.
And Corey is like currently making the rounds.
So, yeah, he's been on a shitload of podcasts recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like he's like hopping in on a lot of shit. So
well, I think he's releasing another solo debut.
Well, that's what I'm assuming. Album. Like it would just work perfectly because like that's his demographic.
Right. I was gonna say Skank. Legion of Skank fans are generally metalheads.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. That's just my assumption. I mean, don't put your money on it. I don't think there's anybody taking bets on that. But I don't know. Would be cool. We've got a lot of podcast shit to fucking catch up on, man. YMH has been fucking nuts the last 2 weeks. It was like was it Dan Soder was last week or
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it because we weren't on last week.
Yeah,
great episode. Nadav announcing the head producer of Your Mom's House, who Dan and I have loved hearing him fucking cackle in the background of YMH episodes for
8 years
now. I mean, Jesus, that's Nadav is walking away from the show, like not on bad terms, just trying
that we know of. They did a real good fluff piece for it. We essentially really have no idea. Like,
dude, if there was beef, there would.
I don't think there's beef necessarily. I think there's something else going on. So
I
mean, they pay him a fuckload of money.
I will say this much. In the back of my head, I've been thinking it might be a bluff. Not like there's something like more to the story. I'm thinking it might be like just a troll.
Okay.
Just be like, oh shit, guess who's back? Your favorite Jay in the hat. Like,
Right. I don't think so, dude. I think this is like legit. I think this is a
well,
legit departure.
if it is,
Um,
I think it really. I
if
look the
they
same.
they've never
Again,
done anything like that before though, so that's
we
why I'm like,
we just talked about Dan Soder. Dan Soder, uh, great comedian, great actor. Like he's in fucking Billions. Like great fucking voice actor, impressionist. Um, he walked away from the
the
Bonfire,
Bonfire.
which was a great fucking radio show on Sirius XM with Big J Okerson. Um, it sucked. It really fucking sucked. Same thing with like seeing Nadav go. I mean, like now we got fucking Ennie and Zola. Ugh. Just kidding.
I
I'm
like
just
Eddie a
kidding. I'm
lot.
kidding. I fucking love him. Fucking,
So
you know
love
what?
the fucking self.
And that might be Cap. But anyway, like Soder walked away, but and as mad as I was about it, because I'm like a huge fucking bonfire. I only pay like $8, $9 a month just for this one show, and it's only
Yeah.
four times a week. I love that show, and I still listen to it. I love Bobby Kelly. Been a fan of Bobby Kelly since way before Dan Soder. But I think I have to respect the move. Like, how long can you just? I mean, like they can't pay him more at this point, right? Like, your mom's house
No,
is your mom's house going to get any bigger than it is at this point?
I don't know unless they start a Patreon, which they're not.
Yeah, I think they already do. I think they
They have
do.
a
Or
Google.
YouTube.
They don't have. Yeah,
They have a YouTube
YouTube.
Premium. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You could pay for the YouTube, but that's the same shit. So yeah, I'm saying they're not
Right.
going to become a bigger enterprise at this point, in my opinion. What the fuck do I know? But it just seems like that. So why not branch out? I mean, like what he said on the show, he's gonna start consulting for other shows. Like now, he doesn't have to fucking be behind the panel. He was like behind the panel of what, one of the top 5 podcasts, top 10,
Yeah,
like in
that
the,
and
or
then
especially if we narrow it down to the comedy
two
world,
of them.
top
If
5
two of the top 10 comedy podcasts, he was behind the camera, or I mean behind the
behind the
board.
panels. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, behind the control board. Like,
I
that's
think he was on Where Your Mom's At as well, which is like
okay.
top
Yeah.
50.
So I mean, like, I don't know. He's getting older. Why not make yourself more marketable? I get it. I get it. I don't think there's anything crazier going on, but I think that'd be hilarious if there was.
Dude, I think it's something. I mean, I don't know what it is. And like the what I really love about Your Mom's House is like they joke around about shit so much. Like his whole like he had to go to rehab for gambling and shit was like to a point. They played it off to a point where I'm not even for sure if that was real or not. Like it could have
Well, he's
just
still
been
gambling.
a vacation, but like so and then I've also heard that all the pressure for running the New York Marathon really got to him. Like I dove into it on Reddit, on the Your Mom's House
Dude.
Reddit page, but I take
That's
my I
that's
take my meds.
the reason I don't fucking go to Reddit. Oh my god, I can see myself spiraling out on fucking conspiracy theories. Um, Speaking of, just so we're not on this all day. Speaking of producers leaving, and not to go back to the Gas Digital world, the people who organize Skankfest, um, their head producer fucking walked away.
Bobby,
Bobby
whatever.
Hutch, Bobby
Yeah.
Hutchinson, I forget. I've met the dude, great fucking guy. And apparently it happened months ago, but it's just starting to like blow up this week. It's like gotten ugly.
Well, I guess like so I heard that too, and I was like kind of excited about it. And I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, I had to wait. But I heard there's like him and Lewis got really, really into it, like really bad, like
Oh,
during
and
one
by
of
the way,
the.
guys, Dan and I avoid talking to each other about this shit during the week, so that way, that's why Dan was like, "I wanted to talk to you about it," but we try to
Yeah,
hold off.
right. And we try to keep the things that obviously we love and care about. We both want to talk about, but we wait for the podcast so that we have something to talk about and it's not boring
Yeah.
for an hour or whatever. But I heard it was like a lot to do with pay and um, him working like over 40 hours, and he's supposed to be an employee, but then still had to fill out a 1099 and all this shit. So
Well,
like,
it's because I'm. Go ahead. Sorry.
no. It was like a contracted employee, like a WWE wrestler. Like that's the basically how they set their contracts up.
It kind of is though, and you got to remember, I introduced you to this fucking world. Like I've seen it develop over the past 7 years. Dude, I've lived here in Colorado 4 years, and I've been going to those things for at least 2, 3 years before I fucking came out here. Yeah. So like the way they've worked, and it's always been like that, is like you're paid for what you're hired for. So like you're hired to produce this one show on this network,
But
and that's what you're paid for. Whether it's a salary or per episode, that's where you work that shit out in your contract. But then like while working, the benefit of working for Gas Digital, and this is just me being completely neutral as a third party. I have no affiliation with Gas Digital except for being really good friends with Zach Amico. That's my only connection, and he's never said a word of fucking business to me
right.
ever. Um, but
And
this
nor
is
would we ask, by the way. Nor would either of us ask about that shit because
hell
that's
no,
none of our business.
hell no. And Zach's not somebody to just blurt shit out. He's a fucking quiet dude when you actually get to hang with him. Fucking hilarious and shit. But um the benefits is, and it happens with a lot of, god damn it, why does this keep happening? The This industry, comedy, podcasts, not like we're in the industry, we're just peasants out on the outside of the industry. Um the
Pretty much.
benefits uh come into play when you prove yourself and then chase the things that become presented before you. It is, it's a thing where you have to prove your worth. It's just like stand-up comedy. You have to prove your worth, and then it's kind of on you to bound yourself forward. In Bobby's case, I don't know if you know this, he is an employee, but he's also an owner.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know he was
Bobby
an owner.
owns 5% of Gas Digital.
Okay.
And that was something he opted in for, come like one of his new contract re-signing things, whatever the fuck you want to call that shit, evaluations, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and if I remember correctly, he opted for that as opposed to extra pay. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes things funky. It's a world that Dan and I only know from looking on the outside in, and we only could wish we were part of it. I think Dan's happy where he's at. I kind of would like to be a bigger podcaster, comedian, whatever the fuck, but obviously I don't got it. So I'm happy to have our 2, 3 viewers we get a week. Um, Again, yeah, this is just therapy for us. But it's a very complicated situation, and we also had another person, we won't mention his name, it's not worth it, but someone was on the show who was part of that industry and also had a falling out with that, with gas. But I had to say the same thing to that person, like, yeah man,
You,
like you knew what you were getting into. They were as big a fan as I was or am. I'm like, And you know,
But the other thing is Gas Digital is just getting bigger, and they're succeeding uh, uh, pretty
I
well right now
they're
on
getting.
YouTube.
I think they're getting more known. I don't know if they're getting bigger. I would say Skankfest, the festival the comedy festival they're organizing every year and have been since before and after the pandemic. That's getting bigger every year.
Well,
But like,
I,
so that actually, sorry, that's what I was getting at about the pay earlier as well. Is like, yeah,
well,
you get paid for the work you do, and that's why maybe if you're doing something else on the side for another show, you might have to do and set up an independent contractor, the 1099 thing. So that's not really, Gas is going to claim what they're going to claim, so that they're not fucking losing, a bunch of money paying a bunch of fucking potheads. You know what I mean? Like, um,
well, they are also putting out specials now, 30-minute specials. I don't know if you've seen those, but so like I said, I would say they're getting bigger as a network and more successful as a
but
network.
they're putting out specials on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
not. I mean, and did you
Well, look
watch
at
them?
Scroll.
Which ones have you watched?
Colin Terrell
Okay,
Collins.
and
Uh
I've seen
Kim
columns. I've seen uh,
or not Kim, what's
I've
the
seen
girl that would
Lewis, and I've seen Jordan Jensen's.
I watched the newest one. It's a girl, I can't remember her
Jordan,
name.
Jordan,
Okay.
kind
And
of a
then
like butchy looking chick, kind of
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like jeans.
butchy but cute, like in a
Yeah,
weird way. I
Jordan
don't
is super cute in my book. She's a
um
little butchy, but she's
yeah.
the
I
one where
watched
she
the
talks about fucking her stepbrother.
yeah, yeah, super funny. It's probably her best bit right there, by the way. And then yeah, I watched the roast of Louis J. Gomez literally just for Zach. I like Zach and
Zach
like
as a
he was
host
the
was
roast
amazing. I
master.
I, I mean, like,
Dude, holy shit.
but
I don't
as
think
a
there's ever
roaster,
been a better one. Like that's how good he did. Like it was fucking amazing. Um and Zach's the only reason why I pay attention to Gas Digital at all. Like I mean beyond like Legion of Skanks. Like I love Legion of Skanks. But
what
like
do who do you think fucking got who do you think got me into Gas?
yeah, like if it wasn't for Zach, I wouldn't ever catch an episode of Rap. Like I do like his Secret Spook show, although I'm not subscribed to Gas anymore. So it's not like if you're subscribed to Gas, you can watch the movie with them, kind of. And if you're not, and it's just on YouTube, you don't really get to see all the movie. But yeah, no, yeah, I still pay attention just for Zach, just because one, he was such a great guest on our podcast. One,
You're so
but two,
patient too. I mean, that's what I loved about him too. That's why they call him the sniper in the early days of fucking Gas. Like, he lays in the cut and like lets you do your thing.
yeah, but two, he's such a nice guy, and you want him to win, like no matter what, like you want him to win, and I want him to win. I mean, one, he was on our podcast. He had no reason to be on our podcast,
I
but
mean,
did it.
he's
You know?
that's my friend. Hold on a second. Take all right, Dan. Take that is like literally my friend before I knew anything else about him. I
I
met
know, but
I met him at a fucking on a pub crawl. Like we were just
right.
buddies of another buddy.
Yeah, but he could have said, I mean, he could have said no because he's bigger, way bigger than
Yeah,
us.
but he would have been a shitty friend. Like the
So,
same way we had one of your fucking heroes on this show because he's my friend.
yeah.
And that on that note, did we mention that Doc Hoyle, a former guest on our show, just got off tour with opening for Metallica.
Also, their new single that just dropped,
Bad Wolves just dropped a new single and it sounds bad as fuck.
it's debuted at number 33,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is
And
fucking
she's climbing.
huge.
She's climbing.
Yeah, it's over. It just beat out Avenged Sevenfold's new single.
Who?
So
Who?
shut up.
Kidding.
I was like, bro. Which I don't know if you haven't listened to Avenged Sevenfold's new album. Holy shit.
Okay.
It is fucking awesome, but it is so goddamn different. Like if you like I've been an Avenged Sevenfold fan since the beginning. I love them. I hate Hail to the King
Was that their
album. I think
single? Oh, was that the
no,
one like
no, it was yeah,
I
it
liked
was
it? Was
one
it
of their
didn't they have like one song on Guitar Hero? I like that song.
that yeah, they have I think they had two songs on there. But
Yeah.
anyway, Hail to the King was the album after the Nightmare album, and it was they had a new drummer, this dog shit, and I mean their old drummer had died. He of a heroin overdose, Rev, and they got the drummer from Dream Theater to
Oh,
play.
oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
was the drummer on the Nightmare album,
Like I don't
right?
even really like I'm not into Dream Theater, but my one friend who I know is hardcore into Dream Theater, he's a big ass fucking drummer. So I'm like, all right, well that
Yeah,
adds up.
Dream
Uh-oh.
Theater is. I fucking love Dream Theater.
I
One of
see
my
a button
favorite
pusher
bands.
over your shoulder.
Yeah, he went over. So I was watching him through the corner of my.
Got your
Oh, I was
six, bro.
watching him through the camera. But he did the Nightmare album, which there's some people that love it and hate it, but I fucking loved it. And then after that was Hail the King. There's a new drummer, and he's a great drummer. He's in another band, and he's actually fucking awesome in that. But he was not a good match for Avenged. And then now they have the drummer from, I think it's Bad Religion.
Okay.
He's their drummer. He's done two albums with them, The Stage and um Game. I think the album's called Game Over or something like that. Um, so this is his second album on it, and he just lets loose on this album, and it is fucking amazing. It is like the perfect mixture of like heavy metal and like almost like prog.
Hmm.
Like it's fucking crazy. They take so many crazy chances. They have a song on there called Ordinary that's like almost like a disco s song. Like it's fucking crazy. Like it's so goddamn good.
My man Orly shouting out A7X. I don't I literally I, for some reason now Facebook won't fucking show us our comments. I'm gonna have to really look into this. I literally reconnected it right before we started the show, and but yeah, Orly shouted out fucking A7X.
Oh man, I
I think this
that's
was a
my
point.
favorite band.
This was
Bro,
a
that's my fucking license plate is Avenged Sevenfold,
hey,
like
go to
on my
yours,
truck.
fucking Five Finger Dick Lickers.
That's my second favorite band. I
All right, that
love
adds
Five
up.
Finger Death Punch as well, but Avenged Sevenfold, bro, from like God, like into high school is when I found out about them, and 2002, and like my first year in the army, I think, is when I really got into them. I think Bat Country had come out.
Okay, that was the song, right? I
So yeah,
feel like
Bat
yeah,
Country
okay,
was
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
Guitar Hero 3.
Dude, you know what I started playing on the jukebox at the bar lately is fucking just to go back because like two of the bartenders where I've been hanging lately, they like the really good older shit like our old um AFI.
Okay.
Fucking AFI still kind
Miss
of slaps.
Murder, that's the only
Yeah.
AFI song I know.
It was a
I,
Silver
I
and Gold, Leaving Song Part Two. And then also I'm gonna actually if
if you're
I
going
told
into an emo phase,
no, hold on, no. I'm
if
going
you're
into
not
good.
talking about My
No, I'm
Chemical
talking about
Romance,
good fucking real fucking rock metal, or like I don't know, prog rock, whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. But because I won't call it alternative. But then like and they're coming to town in a couple of weeks, and that's another reason I don't think I'm gonna make it to Vegas. I'd rather save the money for this.
yeah.
The Mars Volta is playing Red Rocks. like the first week of
Cool.
October. Like, dude, getting back into that old shit, fucking good times.
Fuck, you just reminded me. I'm supposed to go to. I got tickets for. This is not a concert. All Elite Wrestling,
AEW.
AEW, Collision, which is
I don't know.
their
I know what that
Saturday
means.
show.
Okay.
Like Monday Night Raw and then Friday Night SmackDown. AEW has Wednesday Dynamite and Saturday Collision, right? I got tickets for a Collision that's coming to town this Saturday, but my fucking asshole neighbor is getting married, and he's not an asshole. I fucking love the guy, and I had to give up my 4 tickets that I bought.
Have you been
For,
to an AEW event yet?
I've not.
Oh,
So
oh, Dan,
and
do you know
these
why I'm so mad at you right now? Do you know why I'm so mad at you right now?
what?
Because this will be a perfect transition where you could talk about how you would fucking bring a sign with a fucking Dude C logo.
Dude, I was going to. I was going to. I was gonna bring
Come
a
on, bro. Whoa,
wool.
whoa,
Uh,
whoa. Hold on there, brother.
but
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
no, I had it all. I had it all
whoa.
planned out, and it's pretty devastating. And there were good seats, and they were on hard camera side.
So
So
this is how
like
we're
you
gonna
would have
start a
definitely
Patreon,
seen me in
guys.
the
This is
crowd.
how we're announcing our Patreon. We're gonna get money to get Dan back to another show. Just kidding. We will never have
No, they come to
little
Grand
more money in the
Rapids.
arms
They come to Grand
of.
Rapids, Michigan, a couple times a year, so I should
I
be able
mean,
to get to another show.
I'm I had I ran into an old friend this week. Um I'm not gonna get into details, but I heard a very crazy story from her, and because this weekend was very interesting here in Colorado. We had like big football things, college football things, and we also had SmackDown last
Yeah,
Friday.
dude. Yeah, you had
Um, hey,
Colorado. Whoa.
well, hold on there, brother. This is called building up to a story, there, dude. So, what you're gonna want to do, dude, is hold it back, there, brother. You're gonna want to go there and zip her up, there, dude, because there was a big thing that happened, brother, and I was building up to it, dude. That's Hulk Hogan on some Xanax, brother. But yeah, fucking Batty Bananas. They filmed WWE SmackDown at our second biggest arena. I think I would guess that Bronco Stadium is bigger than Ball Arena.
I,
Broncos and then Ball Arena is where the Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche play. And they had SmackDown there, and I don't know the name of the fucking. Do you remember the name of the dude who was talking before this big thing happened?
Pat McAfee, baby.
No, but the fucking wrestler, not the fucking.
Austin Theory, baby.
There we go, baby. So I hear talking shit about how that's his fucking ring, and all of a sudden everything got real fucking quiet, and all I could hear was can you smell? I smell a little certain in the air, and someone made a fucking reappearance to SmackDown who hasn't been around in a
If you
long.
smell what the Rock is cooking.
And yeah, one of my homies got to be there for that.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
The way she told me the story, like I think I might have seen a trickle go down the inside of her pants, because like the enthusiasm, just like not just from how sexy The Rock is, because she's like a real fucking OG fan, and she went with her kid, like wanted to like have an experience with her kid, but she's also a fan, and the fucking fact that finally The Rock has returned to Denver.
Yeah.
It was pandemonium in the fucking house, man. I mean, like, holy shit. I haven't heard a pop like that since WrestleMania. I don't remember the number. That one that happened in fucking Miami that was outside, and the entire runway was a fucking LED screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I watched it on YouTube and I got the tingles. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
don't know where they're gonna go with the story, but just so happens backstory, uh Rock just happened to be in Denver for the Colorado the Boulder Buffaloes
home
college
game.
football team. Yeah,
Yep.
I think he's homies with Coach Prime, aka Deion Sanders.
Yep.
And he was here in town for something with that. I don't give a fuck about football, but
And then did a interview with Pat McAfee.
okay.
And Pat
Now
McAfee
that's stacking
is
up. Fucking
Pat McAfee
besties
is
with
affiliated with WWE. He
yeah.
was going to be an announcer for a little bit, and then that changed. And dude, he's so McAfee is so over in the WWE universe. It's crazy,
Yeah, but I bet you he loved doing this. This had
dude.
to
This is
this
a
had to have
career
dragged him
highlight.
back in a little bit. Like this
Career
had to have been
highlight.
like, all right, maybe I'll stick around a little longer.
He's been on his show because he does a show now on ESPN. His show used to be like a pure YouTube show, and now it's on ESPN. Get made millions and millions of dollars. And that's all he's been talking about since Monday, and it's fucking awesome, dude. I love how much of a fan he is of it because it boils down from like this badass kicker who's a football geek, like they're
Yeah.
all nerds in their own way, and then is a fucking wrestling nerd on top of it, which is fucking hilarious because everybody makes fun of wrestling. And he is like openly said how much he loves it and has loved it his whole life and blah blah blah. So like having him geek out for this shit and like having it be a part of it and be like just a bigger persona, it's so fucking awesome. It's fun for me because I'm a fan of Pat McAfee. I've loved him since he was a kicker for the Colts.
Yeah. It's even funnier. I don't think
And
I know a thing about him.
yeah, no, he's a great dude. He's a fun podcast too.
Nice.
So, but
Um, is there anything TVs, movies you want to hi Lobo. Hello. Hello. This is
uh,
Lobo. Can you go
I
that
don't
one,
really
please?
have anything this week
Yeah.
besides
That's what I'm saying. Like, because if not, we
Jack
just talk.
Ryan. I'm watching the new season of Jack Ryan on
Okay.
Prime. But
Yeah, I
other
still
than
have
that,
like a bunch of shit I've been talking about catching up on, but going through work drama, unfortunately, like, romance drama, just bullshits, man. Friend drama. I mean, having a thing where this will be a good segue. God damn, I'm good in transition. Getting better. Only doing this like 3 years, right? Every year I keep saying it and I don't uh back it up as hard as I think I'm going to. I have this uh moment of clarity where I start to feel like I keep saying yes too much, and unfortunately, I expect more. Um, and I don't mean it in like a demanding way. I would like if the a lot of the large amount of efforts I put towards helping my friends, supporting my friends, just being there for my friends, if I could just get the minimal back
right.
from the ones that I really feel like I put a lot into, I feel like as a person, I would feel a lot better. Unfortunately, it is wrong of me to set an expectancy. I should just,
Expectations
yeah, I
should
should just be who I am and move on. But in my opinion, and just the way I feel, because I am who I am and I can't really change much of who I am. I feel like I do go above and beyond for a small amount of people. And I feel like it sucks where I don't feel like I'm getting even the minimal amount of love, respect, support back,
Yeah.
even if it's just the minimal amount.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I want to maybe extend or preach, because it's easier to preach than to practice what you preach. Value those who make you feel the most valuable. I think I've worded it less uh, intellectually than I did there's just there, but um, invest your time in those who invest in you, in your time. Again, it's not a financial thing, but like if they reach out to you, they ask how you're doing, what you've been up to, like value those people more than you could ever imagine. Because as I get older, turned 40 a couple of weeks ago, it's it gets so much more clear that I should say no more. I don't like saying no. It doesn't feel good. If I can say yes, I almost always say yes. And yeah, I then it sucks when I'm like, hey, can I borrow a pencil, and I get a no. It's a bad analogy, but a bad metaphor. But yeah. As I mentioned at the start of the show, Dan and I unfortunately have to value all of and most of our friends' lives and families, friends and families' lives is very fleeting. Um, we realize how quickly a life can be taken from us. It sucks. It fucking sucks so much. um, and also, the life taken from us, it doesn't mean death. It can mean friendship. It can mean romantic. It can mean, just like they moved. I'll never see him again. So that's why Dan and I choose to ask and beg, plead everyone to tell somebody you love them. It's super important to us. If you really feel that about that person, say it to them, because they might not hear it that day, the day before, the day after. Who knows when they'll hear it again? And who knows if you may never see them again. Um, I'm starting to feel like Jerry Springer with this shit every fucking week. I'm having my fucking final thought. Um, losing Dory last week, that hit me, and I only met the fucking dog once. Great fucking dog. Good dog's a good fucking dog, and according to Dan, it's a great dog, one of the best. So yeah, value life, treasure it. Next week, we are going to not be here. I'm gonna really try and find a fucking co-host for next week. Dan's got football with the kids. Sorry, today was kind of heavy. We love you all. I love your fucking dumb fucking face. Stop crying like a bitch, Dan. And we'll see you guys next week.